Hello, and welcome to the Solutions Manual podcast, where we take life's greatest challenges and turn them into simple, practical solutions that you can actually use. I'm Sarah, and I'm fascinated by nutrition, well-being, and human performance.
And I'm Maciek, a physician and medical leader passionate about helping people unlock their potential. What unites us is a deep fascination with how the human brain works and how to train it.
Together, we will show you how you can rewrite your life story by retraining your brain.
Join us as we explore the intersection of science, the brain, leadership, and personal growth. Let's get started. Jesus Christ, expected today.
That's what it says.
Okay, fine. By the way, we're live now, recording our SMS. So, Solutions Manual Shorts. That's the first SMS in the series by popular demand.
Year 2.
Short, bite-sized tips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People pleasing.
Yes. Okay, I worked with a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with someone who actually described herself as a people pleaser, wanting to help everybody and get involved in all these projects. It ended up being very obvious that it wasn't because she wanted to help everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It was because she was afraid of saying no when people would ask her for help. She would attend a lot of meetings and projects and events and try to give or insert herself into the work, but from a place of not actually do the work, but try and keep the peace between groups. She would either say, "Well, then okay, I'll do it. I'll just do it," or or she would just give in to what the other side wanted and not actually defend what the team had done. So it was very easy to watch her under pressure, especially try and just keep the peace and take on more work just because she couldn't say, "Well, no, this is what we're doing," or "This is what's been done." And she kept describing herself as, well, I know I'm a people pleaser. I know I have this, but I don't know how to say no. I don't know how to actually advocate for the people on my team.
So I think because everybody I think will know someone, or maybe you are someone who has this tendency to please people. So the colleague that you mentioned with, do you think she was happy with that? Is this something that she liked?
She was very frustrated by this.
She was very frustrated.
Yes, not only because at first she was known for being helpful and approachable, but not actually skilled at anything other than just maybe providing a certain vibe in a meeting. Later, when she was promoted and had to manage more people, she did say that, I know I'm aware of this and I find it very difficult to say no, but I don't know how to get out of it because I am this way. And it's because, and she would kind of try and rationalize why.
So would she be an effective leader or a manager?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
No. But I also don't think she was I think she was frustrated by the workload and a little bit of awareness of trying to keep peace because she probably did some of the same things at home too. But she also thought that she was a great manager, showing up to every meeting, taking on work, advocating for people, but not really.
Probably to your own detriment.
Just for the sake of it.
So you take more than you can handle.
Yes.
Okay, so do people notice that? How do people perceive it?
I think the people outside of her, especially outside of her, saw it immediately, perceived her as not trustworthy.
Okay.
Not decisive. Maybe just sort of a fakeness to the nice personality that she was leading with.
Okay, interesting, because a lot of people who have a tendency to please others, they think or they feel that they're being liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. by others, because
People were civil. It was, you can have a nice conversation, but do you actually get work done? No.
Yeah, but you can also dump your own responsibilities on someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or never actually make a decision, even though it seems like you are.
Okay, so let's break this down then, because people pleasing is a common problem that leads to not just underperformance at work,
Yeah.
not leads to strain in relationships, both personally and professionally, likely leads to burned out, to being burned out, to underperformance.
Yeah.
So let's break this down. People think that when they say they agree to everything, that they're nice, or that they're avoiding conflict, or that they're trying to keep the group or a team together. But we know that people pleasing isn't kindness.
No.
It's essentially a form of manipulation that masquerades as being selfless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is probably hard for people to hear at first.
Yeah.
But it's also it's because it comes from a deep-rooted pattern of behavior that often comes from fear, right?
Yes, it's fear rather than genuine care for other people. It's your own fear.
Yeah.
So this is a type of what we call a fawn response. And this is when you believe that there's a likelihood of you being disapproved or not liked or rejected by others. It triggers this, okay, I need to do something about this.
Yeah.
So you're starting to sacrifice yourself or your own needs for the hope of or the feeling of safeness, which is, again, it's an illusion of safety that you get from this type of behavior.
Yeah, and by the way, the feeling of perceived rejection,
Yes,
or, oh, they don't like me, is really difficult in a work situation, because people might have opinions, but the work itself really has nothing to do with whether you like or how likable the people doing the work is, right? But for someone who is a people pleaser, the instant there's tension felt, which is their own personal feeling, tension felt in a meeting or in a situation that required work to be done or a decision to be made, it isn't even, you're already submitting to just kind of keeping what you think the peace is based on your own perceptions of something in an environment where really there's no room for that kind of emotion.
Yeah, so because you're afraid or terrified even of being disliked, you do things or you agree to things that actually harm your long-term status or image in a workplace.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think for the workplace especially, like once she did this once, you kind of become known for being that person who will just acquiesce to the...
Yeah, you let others walk all over you. You end
even
up
even though it's, oh, well, I'm invited to this meeting, I must be of importance, when it's really just because you'll be able to take on more work or someone on your team.
Exactly.
Because you've already kind of said yes before.
Yes. So other people maintain in you that false perception of being liked, but like in fact, like on the rock bottom of the work hierarchy.
So I think that's where the awareness, like that's kind of that border. Yeah.
Okay. So we know that there's this. We know the mechanisms in which that happens, and we know that people pleasers show the certain increased reactivity or increased sensitivity to some of the cues that they receive from the environment, and they tend to interpret even neutral cues as something that is unsafe, and this extends beyond professional life. Right? The people pleasing can extend to personal life, where those boundaries between yourself and others are being blurred. And again, you pay with self-worth, with self-esteem, which is typically tied to people pleasing. So how do we fix it?
Yeah, well, okay. So first, pay attention to that initial feeling, but take a pause. Don't answer right away, yes or no. Especially if someone's asking you for help and they're asking you for more of your time or energy. So that's one, is to just not go with that ingrained immediate need, because you think that if you say no, or if you disagree to what's being asked of you, that other person is now not going to like you or accept you.
Yes. So don't go with the initial impulse
Yes.
to agree, but before you agree, just give yourself a small pause.
Yeah.
And listen whether this is something that you really want or need to do or not.
Right.
So, but we also know that this is difficult to create that space and to act in alignment with what you do, because even if you observe that, you still need to refuse in some circumstances.
Right.
So how can we try to rewire that response? What would help with not defaulting to the immediate answer? So sometimes when you have an automatic reaction, because it's rooted in certain beliefs.
Yeah.
For example, people who are likable or who want to be liked by others, so pleasing people, they think that this allows them, that this is how they this is how they progress in the workplace. But we know from evidence that likability is actually counterproductive to being effective. People who are liked do not really get far or progress far in workplaces, because because others associate likability with lack of decisiveness, or the things that we talked about, for example, or people with low self-esteem or self-worth, or people who are unlikely to be the leaders. Because if you are trying to please everyone, it means that you really don't stand for anything yourself. So there is this belief that people pleasers have, that when they are agreeing because they want to be liked, that this is good for them. But we know from evidence that it isn't.
Right.
So there is this element to start looking at the evidence behind your beliefs. Another one is also linked to this, which we call this impression management, where people who are people pleasers, they try to create a certain version of themselves, which allows them, we talked about this at the beginning, the inconvenient truth, that because they try to control how other people see them. And so when they say yes because they want to feel liked for whatever reason, and this behavior therefore is not authentic. So you start to wear a mask of someone you're really not, because you wouldn't call it a people pleasing if this would be something that you are truly to the core, that this is simply your true identity.
Right.
People pleasers typically know or agree to something and they later regret it. Or they say yes and they say, oh, like, I know I shouldn't have done it. Like they're aware of this.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not a people pleasing. So they wear this fake, inauthentic mask, which is another obstacle, because people see through this. It's an obstacle to them being actually respected in the workplace. So this concept that you have of your own identity is being eroded when you do this. Like, you become a person you really don't want to be. And that is not a pleasant feeling.
No.
But it starts with the wrong belief. And one of the interventions that we recommend for people is to simply, if it's instinctive, to simply switch the default answer to no as a default answer to everything.
Right.
So yes, so we're using this, if the intentional pausing is difficult, we're trying to do something that's called the cognitive diffusion. So you promise yourself that whatever it is that you spurt out in a moment, it's always going to be no. And the reason for this is that if you really want to help someone, it's very easy to say, oh, you know what? Actually, no, let me help you with that. I can do that. After you think it through. But it's much more difficult if you say yes to
Right.
later take that away.
Right. Right.
So you're still leaving yourself door open if you genuinely want to help someone.
Mm-hmm.
But your default, if you change the default answer to no, that puts you in a much better place to, one, be authentic and true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore the concept that being liked means being effective, powerful, or promotable.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, it allows you to almost always keep your face and later offer your help if you want to,
Mm-hmm.
because defaulting to no at all times automatically kind of guarantees you that
Authority.
time to reflect
Oh,
and
mhm.
yes, and to retain your authority. So
Yeah.
so that's it. I think that's pretty much all there is to it.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to the Solutions Manual podcast. Please like, comment, send us a message, or share with your favorite brain.